Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. So we're here to do another session of flow. I hope everybody's had somewhat of a good week. Now I know that most of us have been spending a lot of time on the couch and not moving, especially some of my prenatal clients that were saying they needed to move around a little bit more. So today's focus is thighs. So I'm going to take you through a 30-minute power flow. Don't worry, it's not going to be too powerful. If you're pregnant, you'll get through it. Push your way through it. But we do want to focus on thighs and getting right into there and feeling a little bit of that burn this morning. So let's get started. We're going to come sitting down onto our mat. We got to take that moment to get centered and just sitting cross-legged. Let your palms face up. Shoulders are relaxed. And I want you to just sit this morning with your breath for a few moments. Maybe infuse some gratitude into your practice. I know sometimes there's not much to be feeling positive about in the news and watching TV, but there's always something that you can find gratitude for in your day. Maybe just being grateful for acknowledging your breath and your body this morning. Just letting go of all that stress and tension from the neck and the shoulders that you might be building up unknowingly. I know for me, I've had some pretty stressful days, so I'm looking forward to this flow myself. So just a couple more deep breaths. Really pay attention to that breath moving in and out through the nose. And as you're exhaling, I want you to feel your shoulders softening away from your ears. Just let them melt. Let them sink. Good. And then let's take a nice deep breath in. Let's reach those hands. Good morning. Let's reach those hands all the way up high. Big breath in. Reach up. Feel your rib cage lift up high. So you want to start to get lots of oxygen into the lungs and really breathe deep. And then let's just take that for a sway from left to right. Good, breathing deep. Really feel that side body stretch. So as you're reaching over to the left side, I want you to feel that right hip grounding down. And then all the way over to the other side. My bird's going to be entertaining me this morning as he flies back and forth. Good. So let's focus on starting to warm up our hips so we can get into those thighs this morning. We're going to just take that right foot and just take it all the way up high. We're going to start to rock the baby here. So you want to try to sit up nice and tall as we pick up the foot. And we're just going to start pressing back and forth. So I want you to see if you can lean back a little bit and just lift that heel up as high as you can. Really hug it in. So I've taken my hand underneath my thigh, holding it here, and just breathing. And just giving that hip, isolate that hip into a nice rocking motion from side to side. Good. And then let that go. Okay, let's do the other side. Take your foot up. So we're going to bring that foot up as much as we can, lean back, and I want you to reach under, grab a hold. Just starting to rock the baby here. We want to get right into this space here. Isolate the hip. And then you're just going to gently rock from side to side. Good. Really feel that leg back and forth. Good stuff. And then let's bring the feet to touch, elbows to the knees. And we're just going to fold forward. So I want you to feel those elbows to the inside of your thighs as you press your knees down towards the mat. Good stuff. And then let's release. And then let's come up. So we're going to go right into a downward facing dog, pressing into your hands and lift your tailbone up high. I want you to open those fingers wide and lift your sit bones up high. So our goal here is to bend the knees a little bit and just start to feel the spine get long. Feel each vertebrae lengthen back. Gosh, that feels so good for me too after sitting so much. So I'm going to just start to exaggerate my thighs here, really get that stretch through my hips. So as one knee bends into my chest, the opposite heel is going to press down towards the floor. Back and forth. Good. And then let's release that. Let's take those knees wide. And then let's sit back onto our heels. And we're going to take this into a child stretch. We want to start working on our thighs here as we get into some power movements. Good. And then from here, let's take it back to our downward dog. Lift those sit bones up high. Breathe deep. Good. And from your downward dog now, we're going to just start to walk our feet forward. Let the backs of the legs get straight. So I want you to think about opening up your chest. So let's fly those arms back first. Really send those fingers back and fold your chest to your thighs. Good. And then we're going to release. We're going to take those hands down. Lift up through the sit bones and just deepen that forward fold. Good. I want you to start walking your feet to the outside edges of your mat. We're going to start to bring it down into a squat position. Elbows right to the inside of the knees. Hands into prayer position here. Lift up tall. So I want you to really feel like you're pressing those knees away from your body. Right down into those thighs. Some of you might need to be up onto your toes, which is perfectly fine. And if you can start dropping your feet, we want to ultimately start getting right down close to the floor. Deep breaths. Be very mindful of your breathing, especially when you're feeling a little bit of challenge. You want to make sure that we're moving the breath through nice and deep. And then let's fold forward. Walk those feet back. Lift your sit bones up high. Fold your chest forward. Good. And then we're going to inhale. Hands all the way up high. Big breath. Good, and then draw your hands in. So let's start to move through a sun salutation. We're going to reach those hands up high. Exhale, let's fold forward. Step back, press into plank. So for the pregnant ladies, we're going to drop those knees into child's pose. And if you're not pregnant, you can move into cobra. Downward dog. Good. And then from here, let's step it forward. Inhale, take those hands back up high. Big breath in. Reach those hands in. Okay, let's do that again. Reach those hands all the way up high. Exhale, let's fold it forward. Awesome. Take a big breath in. Step back, find your plank. So again, you have an option here. If you're pregnant, you're taking child's pose. Otherwise, cobra. Okay, this is for not pregnant and this is for pregnant. Good, downward dog. And then let's start moving into our thighs here. So we're going to just start to lift that right foot up off the floor. And then send that foot forward. We're going to come right into warrior two. Okay, lift those arms up. Send that knee forward. Breathe deep. I want you to reach those fingers outward. Breathe into it. And then from here, we're going to take that right hand down, left hand lifts up high, open the chest. Good stuff. Breathe into this. We're going to take this top hand, bring it behind your back. So you can hold it here. If you want to take this a little bit deeper, get right into those thighs, we can go ahead and bind those arms right underneath our thigh. And then reach up. Stay with the breath. We're going to take those hands, bring them right back down to downward dog. Bend those knees back and forth. We're getting the soundtrack of my bird this morning. And then let's take that left leg high, send those toes up and back. Send that foot forward. Warrior two. Good. Reach over the knees here. You want to feel those thighs sink down low, arms up. And then let's take that elbow down. Some of you might go right down to the floor. And then we're going to take that hand behind the back. If you're going deeper, you can bind. Otherwise, you can stay here. Good. And then let's lift it all the way back up. And then we're going to take those hands, bring them right back down to the mat. Step back into your downward dog. Lift those sit bones up high. Bend those knees. Really use this time to walk your dog. Good. We're going to just take this back into plank position here. I want you to just start to float. Press into your hands. Shift back and forth. Good. And then we're just going to take so you have a modification here, so you can either come right up into a side plank or you can drop your knee. So if you're pregnant, you might want to drop your knee. Otherwise, if you're looking for a challenge, keep your legs straight. Enjoying your plank here, breathe deep. And then let's take it back. Good. Just float back and forth here. All the way over to the other side. And if you're pregnant, you can drop your knee. Use the modification if you need it. Good. We're going to take it right back into plank. Back and forth here. And push it back, downward dog. Good. And then from here, let's take that right leg high. And then let's send it forward. So this time we're going to take it into a crescent lunge. So you want to keep that back heel up off the mat. Sink down low through the hips. Arms up. My bird's really enjoying this today. Good. Soften those shoulders away from your ears. So let's try to avoid sinking that knee down. I want you to think about pressing your heel back. Good. Breathe deep. Okay, we're going to take this a little bit deeper here. So I want you to just take your hands behind your back. Let's lift up. So you want to feel this back thigh getting a nice little burn if you can. Don't forget that back heel is right up off the mat. Good. And then let's bring it down to the floor. And just step it back, find your downward dog. Make sure that you're breathing deep in and out. And then let's take that left leg up high, send it back. We're going to step it all the way through. And then just start to sink into that lunge. Back heels up off the floor, arms up. Really set into those thighs. Okay, and then let's add some arms here. Bring your hands back, lift your chest. So don't let that back heel touch the floor. I want to really focus on feeling those thighs burn a little bit this morning. Good. Open up and roll back those shoulders. Awesome. And then let's take those hands back down to the mat, take it into your downward dog. Good. Bend those knees back and forth. Good stuff. And then we're going to just start to take our feet back to the front of the mat. Let's reach up. Good stuff. And bring your hands in. So from here, we're going to just add some balanced legs. So let's start here by just taking our left leg up off the floor. We're going to hold it here. So I want to just start to feel this thigh working a little bit. Okay, we can take our hands up. You have the option to take your hands out to a T position as well. Let's try to get that leg to lift up a little bit higher if we can. Really feel that thigh working. Breathe into it nice and deep. And then we're going to just take that knee up for stork pose. Hold it here. See if you can get that knee to start turning out towards the side. And then from here, let's just start to send that leg back. Warrior 3. You can do it. Breathe deep. Oh, losing my balance. Hold it here. Good. Big breath in and out. And then don't drop it. Let's take it all the way back up. Awesome. And then let it go. Okay, let's work on the other side. Let's send that leg forward. Try to get that thigh to come up. Breathe deep. You can bring your hands up. You can bring your hands out. I'm going to have to move that bird next time. Okay? And then let's bring that knee up. Stork pose. Hold it here. Good. Few more breaths. And then let's send it back. Warrior 3. Pay attention to your breath. Couple more deep breaths. And then don't drop that foot. Let's bring it forward. All the way forward. Good. And then hands in. And let's float through that. Just bringing those hands down. Step back or jump back. Find your plank. Float back and forth in your plank. Really stretch through those ankles. Good. Drop your knees, child's pose. Couple of deep breaths in and out. Downward dog. Good. Let's get a little bit deeper into those thighs. So we're going to take that right foot up off the floor here again. And we're going to send that foot to the outside corner of your mat. So I'm going to give you a couple of options here. If you're pregnant, finding it really intense for your hips, just drop your knee. If you want to work at a little more of an extra pace here, challenge yourself, you feel free to keep that knee up off the floor. Completely up to you and where your strength is today. But we're going to hold it here for a nice deep runner's lunge. And we're just going to start to take it down. So you can either keep your knee up or down. And we're just going to start dropping those elbows to the floor. And if you're pregnant, don't forget you can drop that knee. Always use your modifications when you need them. Breathing deep. Good. We want to just feel that knee moving out towards the side. You want to feel the inner thigh opening up. Really get deep into those hips. Awesome. And then let's take this up here. So we're going to just slowly pick that back knee up off the floor. Sit right back into that runner's lunge. And then let's send it back into downward dog. Couple of breaths. Bend those knees back and forth. Work that out. Let's take that left leg up high. Send it back. And then bring that foot forward. Big step. So you have a couple of options again. Remember, you can keep this back knee up off the floor. Work it a little bit more intensely. Or you can go ahead and drop your knee to the mat. What we want to focus on is that this knee shifts outward and we sink our hips towards the floor. Once you're comfortable, you're going to start working those elbows down. Okay? If you want to challenge yourself, keep that back knee up off the mat. Breathe deep. Stay with the breath. Okay, and then when you're ready, pressing into those hands. And we're going to step it back, downward dog. Breathe. Good. And then from here, let's take our feet back to the front of the mat. I want you to step it wide. And we're going to sink down, squat pose. Okay, right back into our squat position. Breathe, open up your chest, sit tall. And then fold out of that. Walk your feet together, chair pose. We're going to sink low, hands high. So the goal here is to not keep your chest moving towards your thighs. The goal is to sit down low and bring those hands up. Breathe deep. Good. And then let's fold that out. Shake that out. Open those feet wide. Walk them out. Let's go right back into squat pose. Just settle into your breath. Give that a few moments to feel those inner thighs stretch. Good. And then from here again, let's fold that out. Bring your feet back. And then we're going to step it back into our plank. Breathe deep. And then we're going to open those knees wide and take your child stretch. Good. And then I want you to just slide through here. Let's just take a seat on the mat. We're going to go wide here. We're going to take our feet nice and wide. Okay? I want you to sit up tall. So you want to feel those inner thighs. We're going to get a nice deep stretch here through the spine. So I want you to take your hands out. Think about flying forward with the chest. Lengthen out through the top of the head. So once you come forward here enough and you can get that space between your shoulder blades to go flat, find those toes, or maybe it's your shins this morning. Lengthen forward. I want you to really pay attention to what's happening with those thighs. You want to get all that tightness out. Let's juice up those thighs. Good. Breathing deep. So we're going to add some core here, some pelvic floor. We're going to bring our feet down. Bring our feet in. So if you're pregnant, you have a couple of options. This is really good to start practicing abdominal lifts and pelvic core muscles. If you're not pregnant, just great for the core. So we're going to lean back. We're just going to start to take that right leg up, hands up. Okay, if you're pregnant, you need some assistance, just hold on to the back of the knee. Key is that you're pulling up. Feel the belly button reach upward into the spine. Okay, not pregnant, stretch those toes outward. Hold it here. We're going to hold and breathe. And then release. Other side. Breathing deep. Hold for a few breaths. And then both legs up. If you're pregnant, feel free to hold the backs of those knees. You can keep your toes down. The goal is to keep your belly button in tight. Otherwise, both legs up and hold. Breathe deep. Good stuff. And then let's bring those feet to touch. And then let's fold forward, elbows out towards the knees. Good. And then we're just going to come down onto our backs. And let's just do some bridge postures here. So I want you to just get grounded down, and then placing your feet down on the mat, we're going to lift those hips up off the floor. So if you're pregnant, you can stay here. You don't have to advance yourself. Postnatal moms, though, that are looking for some core recovery, it's a great exercise. We're just going to lift that right leg up high. Press down into your left foot. Good. And then release. Other side. Let's lift. And then release. And then send those hips down. Bring your knees into the chest. Just give yourself a little massage. Tiny little circles. Good. And then just taking your feet down. And let's lift it again. We're going to do it again here. So really ground down through your feet. Right leg comes up high. If you're pregnant, maybe just do the pelvic lifts if you don't feel comfortable. If you're a new mommy, this is a great exercise to start working your mommy tummy. Good. Release. Other side. Good job. And then let it go. Bring those knees in to your chest. Rocking from side to side. So we're going to add some happy baby here. So what we want to do is just start to take those legs up, and then we're going to press inward. And I want you to feel like you're grabbing the inner soles of your feet. So you want to try to get those knees down towards the armpits. And then just really feel like you're stretching out those inner thighs and those calves, breathing deep. You might want to just press that out and up a couple of times, staying with your breath, out and up. Good job. And then let's take it right back to that bridge stretch. One more time, lifting up. Good. I want you to really sink those feet down into the mat as you lift those hips up high. Focus on your breath. And then release. Knees in. Good job. And then let's just take those knees all the way over to the right side. Feel your shoulders sinking down into the mat. And just let that all melt away here. Feel those knees sinking, shoulders sinking. Awesome. And then we're going all the way over to the other side. Couple of deep breaths. Just let those knees sink and melt away. Want to feel those shoulders sinking down towards the floor. And then let's lift it up high. And then roll it all the way up high. Big breath in. And I want you to just come into a sitting position. So from here, you can go ahead and end your class in a lying down. So if you're pregnant, remember to lie down onto the left side for your fetal position. And if you're just doing this for a power practice for your thighs and just for a good workout stretch, feel free to come into sitting or lying down on your back. I want you to just take the next few moments to really pay attention to connecting to your body. Really just listening to what your body needs, because sometimes we get so caught up in the stresses of what's happening in the world and get so caught up in our mind and all the crazy thoughts, and then we're not recognizing what's happening to our body, creating illness and disease and making things a lot worse from anxiety. And trust me, I'm guilty of it myself. So being able to come onto my mat and just connect to my breath and really pay attention to my body and really acknowledge slowing down feels really, really great. Just taking a couple more deep breaths in and out. And then feel free to stay as long as you want in your final relaxation. And with that, I'm going to end my practice. Looking forward to seeing everybody on Monday night at 7 where we go live again. Have a great weekend and namaste. Keep safe, keep healthy, stay busy.